Ose shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
We'll begin on page 128 with the words of Hine Matov. It's good to be together. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Can you hear me okay? Yes. I'm Cheryl Cohen. I have the honor of being the president of Temple Beth Torah, as well as being a teacher here for the past 30 years. Welcome to all who are joining us in person and on Zoom this joyous evening, congregants and guests, family and friends of Rabbi Sarah. We are all looking forward to the special Shabbat as we officially welcome and install Rabbi Sarah Weissman as the new rabbi of Temple Beth Torah. Since joining us in July, Rabbi Sarah has been very busy leading Shabbat and holiday services, visiting those in need, meeting with our staff, our board, and our committees. She has led a pre-holiday study session, leads weekly Torah study, and a monthly Torah time with our young families, and most recently gathered with our teens. Rabbi Sarah dove right in on Mitzvah Day, organizing our classrooms and trying to throw out my precious stuff, including God's poop. If you want to know about that, you can ask me later. And loaded up the car with donations of food to bring to the local food bank. We look forward to keeping her busy in the months and years ahead. Rabbi Schulman sends his best wishes while he is celebrating a milestone birthday with his family from out of town. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you, Cheryl. Never going to live it down.
Nope.
Well, I'm delighted to be celebrating Shabbat with everyone, and we'll talk more about me later, but we should celebrate Shabbat because I don't know about you, but I need Shabbat this week. So we'll begin by bringing in some more light with the lighting of Shabbat candles. And I'd like to invite up my family, the Weissman and Wolf clans, to please join us down here to light the Shabbat candles and the blessings on page 120. We're going to go down there, okay? Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you very much. We'll turn to page 648 as we sing the words Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. We'll sing a new song together. Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. We'll sing unto God a new song. We'll keep singing. Page 138, the words of Lecha Dodi. We'll sing the first, second, and last verses. When we get to that last verse, we rise and face the doorway to welcome in the Sabbath bride and anyone else who's coming in late. Page 138. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmianu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, l'shem tiferet ve'li tehillah. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor haberacha. Merush mikedem nesucha, sof maaseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha uvetzola. Toch emunei am segula, boi chala, boi chala. Lechadodi likrat kalai elalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lechadodi likrat kalai elalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekavela. We remain standing as we turn to page 146 for the words of the Baruch Hu, the call to prayer. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Please be seated. Page 149, we join together. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. We'll turn the page as we sing these words of love, ahavat olam. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu lemadeta, otanu lemadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha tasir mimenu le'olamim, Yisrael, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Turn to page 154 as we chant the words from Deuteronomy V'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, vidibarta bam, vishivtecha bevetecha, uvlechtecha vaderech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot beinenecha, Uchtatam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kedoshim leloechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. Page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Turn the page, sing the words Mi Chamocha. Yai lai lai la lai la lai la 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 lai yai lai lai la lai la lai la lai yai lai la lai la lai la lai la 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 lai yai lai 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 ya la lai la lai Mi chamocha va'elim Adonai Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh Noratehi lo sefele, Noratehi lo sefele. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, Okeyayam livnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Ze'elianu ve'ameru, Adonai Leolam vaed Adonai imloch Leolam vaed. Let's lie. Yai lai lai la lai la lai la lai la lai yai lai lai la lai ya lie, la lie, la lie, la lie, la lie, la lie, ya lie, 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 ya lie, 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 ya lie, 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 lie. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל Yisrael. Our next prayer is the Hashkiveinu prayer, our nighttime prayer that asks that God spread out a shelter of peace over us. We can think about the sources of shelter, the sources of comfort, the sources of peace that we have. I've got one of mine right here. That's my dad. He's going to help us in leading this prayer of Hashkiveinu, page 160. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ushmor tzeitzenu uvoinu lechaim u'shalom me'ata v'ad olam. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom
Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu Shomreinu l'chaim Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'chaim Hamidenu Makeinu l'chaim.
Turn now to the words of the Amidah, which begin on page 164. As is our custom, we'll chant the first three blessings together and then have some time for quiet. When you're finished with your personal prayers, you can be seated. 164, please rise. Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Bezocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geulah Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol atah Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofech olim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha bal givurot, umido melach, melech memit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lahachayot hakol, baruch ata Adonai, mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch ata Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Yehu l'ratzon imrefi, Yehu l'ratzon imrefi, ve'yon libi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri v'goali.
Oh, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Om Nimroma Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'imru Amen.
That was very lovely. Thank you so much for joining, Rabbi Sarah. That was very lovely. Thank you for joining your daughter this evening. It is now time to have our official installation of Rabbi Sarah, and that will be done by Rabbi Janet Marder who served Congregation Beth from 1999 until her retirement in 2020. In her 21 years as senior rabbi, she focused on partnering with members to create a community of loving concern, seeking to embody the highest values of Torah. She was ordained in 1979 by the Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion in New York. Following ordination, she pursued graduate studies in the Department of Comparative Literature at UCLA, specializing in modern Hebrew and Yiddish. In 1983, she became the first ordained rabbi of Beth Hadashim, a Los Angeles synagogue with special outreach to LGBTQ Jews. From 1988 till 1999, Rabbi Marder served the Reform movement as associate director and then director of the Pacific Southwest region. Rabbi Marder was the first woman to be elected president of the Pacific Association of Reform Rabbis. In April 2003, she was elected the first woman president of the Central Conference of American Rabbis. Following 3 years of study, she became a senior rabbinic fellow of the Shalom Hartman Institute in Jerusalem. Rabbi Marder and her husband, Rabbi Sheldon Marder, served as co-editors, translators, writers, and commentators for 2 liturgical projects published by the Reform movement, Mishkan HaNefesh, the Makower for the Days of All, and Mishkan HaLev, Prayers for Slichot, and the month of Elul. They served as translators for Mishkan HaSeder, the Passover Haggadah. In retirement, they are working on a new translation of the Torah to be published with commentary by the CCAR, and we are so blessed to have you with us this evening.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm so thrilled to be here on this special night for Temple Beth Torah, the installation of a new senior rabbi. I always enjoy the opportunity to speak at a rabbinic installation service. For one thing, it gives me the opportunity to share some traditional rabbinic humor. For instance, how many rabbis does it take to change a light bulb? Answer, 10. 1 to unscrew the bulb, and 9 to say, my friends, that reminds me of a Hasidic story. But I know Rabbi Weissman didn't invite me here to poke fun at our profession. I imagine she invited me because of the unique insight I have into her life, since we spent 12 years working together at Congregation Beth under the closest possible circumstances, and I know every intimate detail of her personal history. You can only imagine how heavily she has bribed me not to share those details with you this evening. One thing I will share, and this is not a secret, Sarah is very special to me. She is my beloved colleague, teacher, and friend. And I am honored to have the opportunity to install and bless her as she's welcomed into her new congregational home. In tumultuous times, good leadership becomes all the more important. You have chosen a spiritual leader of consummate skill and sterling character, and that is truly something to celebrate. We read in Pirkei Avot some words that suggest what tonight is all about. Aseh lecha rav, which can be translated, make a rabbi for yourself, or get yourself a rabbi. The truth is, you don't get yourself a rabbi just by conducting a search, drawing up a contract, and having her sign on the dotted line. You only get a rabbi over time. Slowly, patiently, you begin to know and trust each other. You begin to understand what this precious, unique relationship is all about. Consider tonight 3 concrete symbols of what it means to be the rabbi of a congregation. Let's start with the homely challah. The rabbi, like a lump of dough, is poked and stroked and prodded from all directions, kneaded by many hands, all of which want something different. Like any good challah, the rabbi must rise to all occasions, must be light and fluffy or dense and substantial as the situation demands. The rabbi is there to lend a Yiddish tam, a Jewish taste, to every event. Rabbis are there to nourish and nurture all the hungry souls around them. Raisins are important too, especially raisin money.
Nice.
And God forbid that anyone should catch the rabbi loafing. Endlessly giving, endlessly serving, endlessly feeding others. The rabbi as a loaf of challah is in some ways an attractive image, but there's also an obvious danger of being eaten up entirely, pulled apart by conflicting expectations, and utterly consumed by all the demands of congregational life. Or worse, perhaps, being chewed up little by little until all that's left of the rabbi is a small mound of crumbs. Crummy sermons, crummy teaching, crummy pastoral care, and a crummy home life. Consider image number 2 of the rabbi's role. This one's right up here by the ark. It's the Ner Tamid, the eternal light. The rabbi must be a source of enlightenment, a beacon of eternal truths, radiating always the steady, unwavering light of faith. The rabbi must burn with prophetic fire, speaking out with courage on the critical issues of the day, seeking what is right, not merely what is popular, inspiring congregants to live up to our Jewish ethical ideals. As the focal point of all eyes on the bima, the rabbi must bring light and warmth to the sanctuary, infusing worship with a sense of powerful spirituality, lifting up the souls of the congregation, helping them connect with the holy. This image, too, has a certain beauty to it, but of course, a danger as well. The rabbi as eternal light, after all, is up high, far away from the congregation, closer to the Torah, closer to God than you are. Rabbis who see themselves as the Ner Tamid run the risk of becoming arrogant and remote, self-important and self-righteous. Let me offer then the rabbinic image I prefer and that I think applies best to your rabbi. It is the yad, the wooden or silver pointer that Jews use to read the Torah. Yad is the Hebrew word for hand, and this instrument is the extension of the human hand. Some yads are plain and some are highly polished, but all point with straightness and integrity back to Torah, the source of our people's wisdom. And so the rabbi's task is to direct our attention to ultimate concerns, to keep us focused in a crazy, chaotic world on the things that really matter. The yad is not the Torah. The yad is a pointer, a gateway to Torah, a way of finding your place in the text. And so a rabbi is not the source of all truth, but one who helps you find your place in the tradition, who guides you on your Jewish journey, who brings you to the sacred and helps you discover your own way. Above all, the yad is a symbol of partnership and collaboration. Without someone to read the Torah, the yad dangles uselessly over there in the ark. And without congregational partners who dream and plan together with the rabbi, working hand in hand with her to make those dreams come true, a rabbi's existence, you might say, is pointless. Aseh lecha rav, get yourself a rabbi. It only happens over time. Slowly, patiently, you make her your rabbi. You let her into your life and your heart. You learn to see into her heart. What kind of rabbi are you getting in Sarah Weissman? Believe it or not, my friends, that reminds me of a Hasidic story. Here it is. Rabbi Leib, the son of Sarah, was once asked why he chose to study with the great Maggid of Mezrich, the great preacher. Rabbi Leib said, "I did not go to the Maggid in order to hear words of Torah from him or to hear him preach. I went to see how he unties his shoes and then laces them up again." It's a famous story. It says that what really matters in a rabbi is not a flood of glib speech or dazzling professional skills. What counts is whether the rabbi lives Torah and embodies Torah when she's off the bima. The story says to look especially at the little things, the small and practical details of life. How does the rabbi treat the people she works with? How does the rabbi talk to congregants when there's no one around to see? How does the rabbi behave when she's off duty? That's the test. Can you only learn Torah from the rabbi's sermons and classes, or can you learn it simply by watching how the rabbi lives? The great Rabbi Leo Beck put it best, speaking to a rabbinic graduating class many years ago. He said, "The message is not the sermon of a preacher, but the person. The rabbi must not deliver a sermon. The rabbi must deliver him or herself." Tonight, you celebrate the covenantal partnership you formed with the rabbi who delivered herself to you just a few months ago. By now, you know who Rabbi Sarah Weissman is. A brilliant teacher who cherishes and respects her students, who speaks on and off the bima with clarity, conviction, and sparkling wit. She embodies love of Torah and personal faith. You can learn from her not only in classes, but from watching how she lives. She is both wise and humble, an exceedingly rare combination. She's a compassionate counselor who will offer you insight and unfailing kindness. She's a person of conscience who holds fast to her ideals and speaks her mind, but who listens equally well and welcomes open dialogue. In every situation, her basic core of goodness and integrity shines through. You can count on her. She will give you the best she has to offer. She will believe in you. She will care for you. And she will honor her covenant with you as long as it endures. It's now my honor to call Rabbi Weissman forward so that I can offer her a blessing before the ark. And along with her, all the past presidents of Temple Beth Torah, board of directors, and the rabbinic search committee. Come on up, and as the ark is opened, please rise. Okay, those of you who are Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu, our God, God of our forebears, bless this holy congregation and bless its new rabbi as their sacred partnership begins. May Rabbi Sarah Weissman flourish here as a teacher of Torah, as a healer of heart and soul, as a builder of a warm and joyful community. May she be nourished always by the love of her family, the support of her congregational community, and the beauty of our tradition. Together, may you meet any challenges that arise with courage and creativity, with kindness and a generous spirit. As God said to Abraham and Sarah in this week's parasha, Heye bracha, be a blessing. Be a blessing to one another, and you will bring blessings into the world. Together we say, Amen.
You can be seated. Thank you so much to the leadership for offering me your blessing. And thank you, Rabbi Marder, for your beautiful words. I'm so honored that you could be here for my installation. And I'm delighted that you all got to hear her speak, because she truly is the Jedi Master of rabbis. She taught me everything I know, so anything that I do right as your rabbi, you'll have her to thank. Anything I do wrong is my fault entirely. I'm so happy that my family's here tonight. My husband Eric, and my son Maverick, who's up past his bedtime. Without their love and support, and only mild grumbling about my unpredictable work schedule, I couldn't do this job. My parents, Aaron and Carolyn Wolf, who both taught me the value of a life of faith. My in-laws, Steve and Lisa Weissman, who I think actually love synagogues even more than I do. And uncles Clark and Gil, who have earned major uncle points for being here. Thank you to my friends from across the bay for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. And the week after that, and the week after that. And I also want to thank Rabbi Avi Schulman, who couldn't join us tonight, but who has been incredibly welcoming and helpful as I get to know this community. I really love being a congregational rabbi, and I couldn't imagine doing anything else. In spite of the trend of declining synagogue membership, a problem that is certainly not unique to us, I still believe that synagogues are the most vital of Jewish institutions, the places where Judaism can be most fully expressed. The synagogue is home to Jews and those who love Jews of all ages and stages of life. We don't ever graduate from temple. Last weekend, I led Torah study for adults, got together with a handful of our teens, and attended a play date for preschool and younger elementary school families. I won't tell you which one was the most fun. At its best, congregations are places where different generations interact and connect in meaningful ways. I remember the very powerful feeling of being raised by the village of my synagogue growing up. All of the adults knew me and cared about me. They celebrated my successes and mourned my failures right along with me and my family. TBT has a similar feeling. When Cheryl Cohen, our temple president and longtime religious school teacher, popped in to say hello at our teen gathering, the teens jumped up to give her big hugs. Because of people like Cheryl, no matter how old and how cool they get, our teens will always know that Temple Beth Torah is a place where they are loved and cherished. I also love synagogues because they are places where all of life can be shared. Highs and lows, beginnings and ends, and everything in between. Our temple community can accompany us through all of them. At a single Friday night service, we might have congregants who are celebrating a simcha, those who are looking for comfort and strength to deal with an illness or challenge, and mourners who've just suffered a loss and want to say Kaddish. Synagogues are big enough, physically and spiritually, to hold all of us. Joys are heightened and burdens are lightened when we share them in community. Synagogues might all have similar functions and offerings, but each one is, of course, unique. I've been at Temple Beth Torah for 4 months now. While I'm still getting to know you as individuals and as a congregation, I'm starting to get a picture of who and what Temple Beth Torah is. Here's some of what I've learned so far. First, TBT is a truly inclusive, welcoming community. We have active members of different backgrounds, ages, ethnicities, sexual orientations, gender identities, and abilities. When a new person attends services, they are greeted warmly and without judgment. We strive to make TBT accessible to those with special needs, whether it is by having ASL interpreters during the High Holy Day services or offering rides to those with limited mobility. There's a real sense, a shared assumption, that it's up to all of us to make sure everyone feels a sense of inclusion and belonging. Second, TBT feels like family. Many members have been friends for decades. You've watched your children grow up together and delight in the fact that many of them are still friends as adults. You genuinely enjoy being together. You love and take care of one another. And yes, you sometimes argue with one another, just like relatives do. As one member put it, my wife and I have two families, our family back east and our Temple Beth Torah family. One of the lovely customs we have is to end our Friday night services with the priestly benediction, which is known to some TBT members as the family blessing. It's traditionally recited by parents over their children on Friday evenings. But here at TBT, everyone reaches out to bless one another, acknowledging that family comes in different forms. Third, this congregation is proud of its history. With so many longtime members, TBT is full of historians who remember what it took to create a Jewish congregation in Fremont over 60 years ago, or how much work it took to raise the funds to build the sanctuary, or what happened when you replaced the carpets and you couldn't put up the stage for the annual Purim spiel. The plaques on the buildings aren't just names. They are real people who poured their hearts and souls into this community and whose spirits still enliven it. Even those who are long gone are still remembered and honored and missed by members today. Now we're writing a new chapter in Temple Beth Torah's story, and I hope it's one that we'll all be proud of. Together, we will carry with us the memories of the past, uphold the values that have sustained us, and find new ways to ensure that this synagogue continues to bring fulfillment, inspiration, and hope for the future, to us and to the wider Jewish community. The Torah is famously called Eitz Chaim, a tree of life. Thank you. Because it has been the source of life and strength for the Jewish people for thousands of years. At the end of the Torah service, we sing the words from Proverbs, Eitz Chaim hi lamachazikim ba, v'tomcheha me'ushar. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. The same can be said of this house of Torah. Just as Torah gives life to those who hold it fast, so does Temple Beth Torah give life and purpose to those who hold on to and uphold it. Just as Torah brings happiness to its supporters, so does Temple Beth Torah bring happiness to those who love and support it. I'm humbled and honored to be your rabbi, and I look forward to working together as we continue to grow as a holy congregation. May we go from strength to strength. I'd like to invite all of us to share in a blessing of thanksgiving the words of Hashkiveinu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. We'll turn now to a prayer for healing on page 371. If there's someone that you are praying for tonight, someone in need of healing of body or spirit, I'll ask you to share their names aloud. We'll begin on Zoom. If there's anyone on Zoom who'd like to share names, please do.
Cheryl Smith, Steven Steinberg, Adrian Brown, Craig Spiegel, Bruce Baldwin, Sarah, Linda Spiegel, and Christy Couch.
And my sister Jeannie, Ellen, Jerry Ann, Marilyn Gerlich, and Louise Smith.
Kenton Karen Rasmussen, Barbara Lowe, Muriel and Stephen Gregg, Haiti Carpenter, Julia Mann, Margaret Simpson, and Nancy Bovitz.
Jim Osborne and David Harris.
Lana Rivka Bat Mindel B'Chaim Avraham.
Anyone in here? We hold all of them in our hearts. Let's turn to page 371. Yisheberach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Turn to Aleinu L'Shabeach, page 586. Please rise. Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol, Latet Gedula Leotzer Bereshit, Shelo Asanu Kegoye Haratzot, Velo Samanu Kamishpechot Adama, Shelo Sam Chelkenu Kahem, Vigor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam, Vanachnu Korim, Umishtachavim Umodim, Lifnei Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu, V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, ushemo seated. We prepare for the prayer of memory, page 594. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me. Your laugh once lifted me. Your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. This week, the Temple Beth Torah community remembers, and as I say the name of your loved one, I invite you to rise in their honor. We remember Rabbi Sidney Axelrod, father of Lisa, Ida E. Anderson, and Rabbi Sidney's also the father of Audrey, who's here tonight. Ida E. Anderson, mother of Anne, Lena Begin, sister of Lev Krasnovsky, sister-in-law of Larissa, Barney Dreyfus, grandfather of Martha Garcia, Samuel Kravitz, father of Eugene, father of Alla Pasinski, Jack Lusher, father of Jacqueline Naftali, Esfir Pasinski, mother of Vladimir Pasinski, Harry Reisner, grandfather of Robin Hunter, Rebecca Rosenberg, grandmother of Lisa Axelrod and Audrey Smith, and Morris Sherman, uncle of Janine Charlton. There's someone else that you're remembering tonight, either a yahrzeit or a recent death. I invite you to rise and share their names. If there's anyone on Zoom.
Sari Richardson.
We also recall the lives lost on Kristallnacht on this day.
There's no one in your contact named Richardson. Whose contact?
We invite everyone to rise as we recite the words of Kaddish together. Page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach leolam ulalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudsha barichu, la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram ve'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Together we say. Just a couple of quick thank yous before we recite our family blessing. I'd like to thank Cindy on AV. I'd like to thank Dave Makower for his beautiful music. I'd like to thank Cheryl Cohen and Sharon Sachs and the rest of the board for organizing a beautiful oneg. I'd like to thank Joe Eagle for the beautiful succulents. Anne and Janine for representing the worship committee and braving the cold. Am I forgetting? Who am I forgetting? And all of you for joining. Thanks so much. I'll offer the words of the priestly benediction if you'd like to reach out to a family member of some sort as we say these words. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you. May you feel God's presence with you, and may God grant you peace. Amen. We'll close with a prayer for peace. Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Ve'imru amen. I'd like to invite my family back up to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. Make sure you're still awake before we join together for our goodies. Want to hold the Kiddush cup? Want to hold the Kiddush cup? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzav ba'anu, v'shabbat kodsho ve'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim, ve'shavat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat. Amen. It's Manischewitz. Yeah. Want to hold the challah? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. Shabbat shalom. Please join us for our oneg. You can eat that, bud. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel,